I hid my triplets from him for 5 years, but the second we got back, he found us. Before the story begins, please follow and like this page. You don't want to miss this emotional love story. Now, let's begin. Mina opened her eyes slowly. The hospital ceiling looked blurry. Her head throbbed and her mouth felt dry. Everything around her was quiet. Too quiet. Then it hit her. The boys. She sat up quickly, ignoring the pain in her body. Kai. Ken. Kian. A nurse walked in. Please relax, Miss Mina. Your children are with a social worker. Their father left them here for now. Tears filled Mina's eyes. She held her chest. Did he take them? The nurse nodded slowly. He said he's filing for full custody. Mina's body trembled. She knew this would come. But not this fast. And not like this. 3 days later, Mina stood outside a big law office in the city. She had nothing to wear but her old blue dress and flat shoes. Her hands were sweating. Her heart was racing. Inside sat Xiao Wei. He didn't look at her as she entered. He just passed a file across the table. This is a custody petition, he said. I'm applying to take full legal guardianship of the triplets. Mina's lips parted in shock. You're serious? You fainted, he said calmly. You can't even care for yourself. How can you care for 3 children? That was stress, Mina shouted. I've raised them for 5 years, alone. Do you know how many times I walked in the snow just to get them food? Do you know how many nights I stayed awake holding them when they were sick? Xiao Wei's face twitched slightly, but he didn't answer. His lawyer leaned forward. Our client is offering you a monthly allowance if you agree to surrender custody and move back to your home country. It's a fair deal. Mina stood up, her eyes blazing with fire. I don't want your money. I want my children. Later that day at the family court, Xiao Wei brought his lawyers, documents, and even his mother as a witness. Mina had only herself, and her boys. Kai sat silently beside her, holding her hand. Ken and Kian looked scared. The judge asked questions. Mina tried to speak, but she could feel the pressure building in her chest again. Suddenly, Ken started coughing. Hard. Then harder. He clutched his chest. His little face turned pale. He can't breathe, Mina shouted, grabbing her bag and pulling out an inhaler. Move, she cried, pushing past everyone. She knelt beside him and used the inhaler. His breathing slowed. He leaned into her arms, crying softly. Mommy! The entire room went quiet. Even Xiao Wei's lawyer looked stunned. The judge looked at Xiao Wei. These boys love their mother. Xiao Wei swallowed hard, his eyes on Mina. He remembered the times he couldn't breathe as a child. How his own mother never hugged him, never soothed him, never stayed. He had walked into court thinking Mina was weak, irresponsible. But now, he saw something else. Strength. Later that evening, he showed up at her tiny apartment. No lawyers, no papers, just himself. Mina opened the door slowly. Her eyes were red. Xiao Wei looked around. The apartment was cramped. The boys were asleep on a mattress on the floor. A small fan spun above their heads. You raised them like this? He asked softly. She nodded, too tired to speak. He walked to the center of the room and turned around. His face was blank, but his voice was sharp. Let's make a deal. Mina's chest tightened. Another deal. I'll stop the custody case. I won't take them from you. She held her breath. But, he continued, you'll marry me. Mina stepped back. What? You become my wife. We raise them together. They get a better life. And you, she whispered. Do you love me again? His face went cold. No. Her heart cracked. This is not about love, he said. It's about the kids. They need both parents. But I don't trust you. Not yet. So if you live in my house, under my rules, I'll give them everything. Mina stared at him. She wanted to scream, cry, say no. But then she looked at the boys, sleeping peacefully on the floor. And she nodded. Fine. I'll marry you. A week later, they stood in front of a marriage official. No fancy dress. No ring. No flowers. Just paperwork. Xiao Wei signed first. Mina signed next, her hands trembling. When it was done, he didn't even look at her. His mother was furious. I won't accept this. That woman. Xiao Wei stopped her with one look. Leave. They left the building in silence. That night, Mina moved into his mansion, a huge, cold place with too many rooms and no warmth. The boys were excited. Wow! Mommy, this house is so big. Can we swim? Can we have our own beds? Xiao Wei nodded. Everything is yours now. But when Mina walked into the room they were to share, she noticed something strange. Only one bed. That night, after putting the kids to sleep, Mina stood by the window, staring at the city lights. She didn't feel like a wife. She felt like a stranger. Suddenly, Xiao Wei entered the room. He closed the door behind him and stood still. She turned slowly. Why am I here? She asked quietly. He walked to the bed and sat down. His voice was cold, flat. Don't touch me. Mina blinked. He looked up at her, eyes dark. This is just a contract. Don't think it's anything else. He turned away and laid down. But deep in his chest, his heart was racing. He had said it out of fear, not hate. Because seeing her again, feeling her near him, was too much. It had been 4 months since Mina married Xiao Wei. She still remembered that cold wedding night. His words still rang in her heart. Don't touch me. This is just a contract. He didn't let her share his room. She slept in the guest room. Every day she cooked his meals, washed his clothes, helped the kids with schoolwork. She stayed quiet, never asking him for anything. The maids watched her with pity. But Mina smiled through it all, for her children. Xiao Wei tried to stay distant, but he couldn't stop watching her. He noticed the way she cut apples just the way he liked, even though he never told her. He noticed how she waited for him every night at the door just to ask, "Did you eat?" And when he got sick with a high fever, she stayed up all night putting cold towels on his forehead. "You'll be okay," she whispered, holding his hand when he trembled in the dark. He never said thank you. But inside, something in him began to change. One afternoon, he passed by the triplets' room. He heard soft voices. They were kneeling beside their beds, eyes closed, hands together. "Dear God," one said, "please let Daddy love Mommy again. Please make our family happy." Xiao Wei froze. His chest tightened. He walked away before they saw him, but his eyes were wet. That night, he found Mina in the kitchen. She was coughing again, hard, painful coughs. "Are you sick?" he asked, stepping closer. She wiped her mouth quickly. "No, it's just dust," she lied. He looked at her closely. She looked thinner. Her eyes were tired. Her hands trembled. But she smiled. "Would you like some soup?" she asked. He didn't answer. He just walked away. But that night he couldn't sleep. The next day, she fainted in the garden. The nanny screamed, and Xiao Wei rushed out in panic. "Mina!" he shouted, catching her before she hit the ground. He carried her in his arms. His heart pounded in fear. At the hospital, the doctor looked serious. "She needs rest. Her condition is getting worse." "What condition?" Xiao Wei asked. The doctor frowned. "You didn't know. She has a weak heart. She's been hiding it." Xiao Wei's hands turned cold. He drove home like a madman. His thoughts were all over the place. Why didn't she tell me? Why did she pretend everything was fine? When they got home, Mina tried to get up from the bed, but he stopped her. "Lie down," he said gently. She looked at him, confused. "You're angry, aren't you?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "Why didn't you tell me? Were you planning to die in silence?" She looked away. A tear slid down her cheek. "I didn't want pity." "What?" "I didn't want you to stay with me because you felt sorry," she whispered. "I wanted you to love me, Truly. But you never did. He sat beside her, stunned. You thought I didn't care. You said it yourself. It was just a contract. You didn't want me. He was silent. And then slowly he reached for her hand. I was angry, he said. I thought you betrayed me. I thought you used the kids to trap me. She looked at him. But every day you showed me love. Even when I didn't deserve it. He knelt by her bedside. I'm sorry, Mina. I was a fool. She began to cry. That night he didn't leave her side. He stayed in her room. He fed her medicine. He held her hand as she slept. The triplets peeked in the door and giggled. Is Daddy finally in Mommy's room? Shoo! One whispered. Maybe he'll kiss her. The next morning his mother came. She barged in, angry and cold. How dare you let her stay here? She's a nobody. Mina tried to leave the room, but Xiao Wei stood in front of her. Don't speak to my wife like that. His mother gasped. You're what? My wife. And the mother of my children. He scoffed. Do you know she's sick? She might die and leave you with those brats. Get out, he said calmly. She stared at him in disbelief. You would choose her over me? Yes, I've made too many mistakes. I won't lose her again. When his mother left, he turned to Mina. You don't have to hide anything from me again. She nodded slowly, eyes full of tears. Even if I get worse, then I'll love you harder, he said. He pulled her into his arms. I'm not marrying you out of duty anymore. I love you, Mina. She covered her mouth in shock. Say it again, she whispered. I love you. The next day, the triplets ran into their parents' room. Is Mommy okay? Yes, Xiao Wei said, lifting them up. And guess what, he smiled. What? She's going to be okay. And we're going to be one happy family. The boys squealed with joy. Yay! Daddy loves Mommy again. They hugged their parents tightly. Mina kissed their heads and looked at Xiao Wei with soft eyes. For the first time she felt truly safe. Truly loved. The triplets smiled. Their family was finally whole. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe and share so others can enjoy it too. More sweet stories coming your way. Your contribution means a lot. Next on Jade Lantern Stories. Sudden Stepmother.